WavyOcho. We're gonna react to the tragic downfall of Lil Romeo from Nickelodeon to beef with Lil Bow Wow. They did have beef though. Him and Bow Wow, they did have beef with the diss track.
Screaming that she's a special girl.
Yeah,
Let's see exactly what you're looking for, so go ahead and introduce her, baby.
Yo, what up, y'all?
Romeo was a teenager at this time, bro. 2005, 2006. Like he was a teenager, bro. So you know all the girls love him, bro. Just by his looks. Like girls his age love by his looks. Teenage girls.
It's your boy Lil Romeo. This my new joint, Special Girl. Check it out. It's crazy. Bananas. We got the future of music right here. I love my fans. You know, I had to do the little grown and sexy thing. So, Vocals #1 is all love. Oh, yeah.
And as you speak of grown,
Speechless right now.
You speak about grown, and you know, as you've grown, you sound so much like your daddy. How does P like that? How does Master P like that video?
I learned everything from my dad. Make him say,
Can we make him say,
Yeah.
Master P stands as one of the most iconic figures in hip-hop history, having amassed his fortune to successful business ventures and music labels, all while striving to provide a brighter future for his family. Growing up in the butter capital of the United States, he learned the paramount importance of a strong father figure in child's life, one who could lead the example. Therefore, throughout his life, he made a conscious effort to maintain a close bond with his children and father a total of 9 kids, with the eldest being Percy Romeo.
Damn, bro. My son Master P got not 5. He got mad kids, bro, in this flick.
Better known as Lil Romeo. Despite growing up in a wealthy family, Romeo was always more focused on his father's work ethic rather than his money, spending most of his childhood on different TV sets.
Oh yeah, I remember that show. Like, who remember that Romeo show? Apparently, like, it don't air no more. That don't air no more for some reason. I don't know why it don't air. Like, the last time it aired was like 2008. Ever since then, it never aired on TV no more, which I don't know why. They should re-air that shit. Put it back on TV.
Music videos, trying to carve his own path in the entertainment industry. But unfortunately, just like every success story, Romeo's life is filled with breathtaking highs and soul-crushing lows. Percy Romeo Miller was born on August 19, 1989, in New Orleans, Louisiana. His parents, Master P and Sonia C, met each other at around 1983 in the club called Nexus. In their own words, it was love at first sight, and not long after, they started dating. The duo married each other in 1989, and since then, together they have had 7 kids. Well, only a couple of years later, Master P would become a millionaire and change everyone's life forever. Lil Romeo still had a taste of real struggle. In 1989, Master P moved to Richmond, California to buy his first property with the money received from a malpractice suit that his family won from his grandfather's passing, who tragically died due to an injection of a mixed medicine. The property that he bought first became a record store, and later, the first headquarters of a legendary record label, No Limit Records. This was all in for Master P. He either makes it out, or he's back to the streets. But way before hitting it big, the money was so tight that Romeo, P, and Sonia all lived in the back of the store, sharing clothes and even struggling to feed themselves. P noticed that nobody was selling gangster rap tapes, so he decided to fill in that space and take advantage of the situation. He started to finally make some money, but more importantly, getting around the people in the music scene. He started learning about the music industry, and it didn't take long before he understood that he could also start rapping. He formed a group called True, which included his brothers, C Murder and Sel the Shocker, a couple of close friends, and also his wife, Sonia C. Romeo's mother was also a rapper, appearing on early Master P songs, and later, after No Limit was already formed, she even released her own solo album called Married to the Mob. The group and Master P started releasing singles and mixtapes, applying street knowledge to music, and hustling every day just to get something new out. But unfortunately, people at the time weren't having it. In Richmond, people didn't show respect to Master P. They didn't like his style, and even considered his music and accent sounding a little bit country. With his music dream in the making, the record store helped to keep the lights on, but Romeo, P, and Sonia still lived in a poor and rough neighborhood, struggling to make ends meet. They moved from city to city, chasing the dream of one day owning a major record label with the hopes of it being no limit. Romeo remembers this constant moving as one of the most impactful moments in his life, because even though his family later became multimillionaires, he remembers playing in the streets of Callio, where murder was an everyday thing, and hiding from cars driving by while he was playing basketball just in case of a shootout or a drive-by. Thankfully, some success started heading P's way, and in 1993, he linked up with Tupac, and in August, Tupac offered P to become an opening act for a show at Metropolis in Cleveland. This was major for P. It was the first time he performed as an opener to a well-established rapper at the time, helping him to put his name out. Once again, he couldn't run away from people calling him a country singer, with P remembering the DJ at the show, introducing him by saying, "Next up to the stage is Master P, the country singer." While the crowd was rough, for somebody who had close to 0 fans at the time, he saw one guy who was having a lot of fun, bouncing back and forth. He said to himself, "I'm going to turn that one fan into millions." He closed his record shop and started driving around California and other states, selling his tapes from the trunk of his car and applying drug dealing principles to music. Eventually, he made his way into Houston and linked up with Rap-A-Lot Records founder, Jay Prince. He saw in him everything that he wanted to be, a black man in America, owning a company, and actually making real money. They started talking, and P asked Prince, "What do you do?" He responded, "I'm a record executive. I have a deal with Priority Records." From that moment, J Prince was like a role model to P, and he understood that the only real way out was to put all of his time into forming a record label, No Limit Records. He took up business classes, started to learn from St. Charles, who was an independent distributor in the Bay Area, with P often referring to meeting him as a pivotal moment in his career, as he gave him the game and showed him how to really make money. And P also formed the team by signing Tobin Costin as a manager and a business partner. Now, the only part left was to finally get a big project that would capture the attention of fans nationwide. On May 24, 1994, Master P released his third studio album called Ghetto's Trying to Kill Me, and in Romeo's words, "This was the first time I realized my dad is a rapper." The album was a hit, selling more than 200,000 copies, and finally establishing Master P as a force to be reckoned with. The main single, The Ghetto's Trying to Kill Me music video, features Master P, his brother Silk, his wife Sonia, and also Little Romeo. The album managed to put No Limit and Master P on the map, and after he returned to New Orleans to sign some of the local talents like Mia X, Mystical, Mr. Servon, and Cain and Abel, it helped No Limit to land a distribution deal with Priority Records, changing everyone's life for years to come, including Little Romeo. While his father was now a huge hip-hop superstar, growing up so poor like Romeo...
Like father, like son. Look. Master P got braids, Romeo got braids. Father like son.
See both sides of the table, and with the right father figure, he was always more inspired by his father's hustle and work ethic rather than his money. His mindset was starting to show from an early age, and at the age of 5, Romeo wrote his first rap to his father, which led to him getting signed to No Limit subsidiary label, Soldier Music Entertainment. They spent a lot of time together, with Romeo watching him work and being inspired to reach the heights of his father on his own, despite their wealth. Just like his father, Little Romeo was focused on two things, music and basketball. In a lot of interviews, Romeo reminisces about the early days when he used to hoop with his friends and family members, thinking about a possible career in sports. While basketball was his passion, so was entertainment, and with his father being a huge executive, it only made sense for him to also follow the same route. Despite his father being ranked 10th on Forbes magazine list of America's 40 highest paid entertainers with an estimated income of $57 million, at the age of 12, following his father's footsteps under the name Lil Romeo, he released his first ever self-titled debut album. It featured appearances from Master P, Silk the Shocker, Carlos Stephens, Little D, and others, reached number 6 on the Billboard 200, and despite getting mixed reviews from music critics, sold over 500,000 copies. Singles like My Baby and The Girlies
Damn, Romeo been rapping since young, too, bro. You know, with and Little Bow Wow as well. Romeo and Little Bow Wow been rapping since they was like you know, kids, bro. But Bow Wow just have more like, you know, have more impact, you know, like, feel me? Bow Wow makes better music than Little Romeo, bro. I'm not gonna lie.
helped the album reach gold status and become a commercial success. The same year, he made his debut in acting by making a cameo appearance in Walt Disney Pictures film Max Keeble's Big Move, and won 3 Billboard Music Awards, catapulting his career from the get-go. A year after his debut, he released his second studio album called Game Time. While the album spawned singles like True Love, which managed to reach number 16 on the Hot R&B Songs chart, the album only peaked at number 33 on the Billboard 200, failing to replicate the success of his debut.
Who's that redhead that's singing, bro? I don't know her name. Who's that redhead that's singing? Let me know, bro, down in the comment section.
Despite all of it, the album still sold almost 100,000 copies in its first week and only made it more popular. In 2003, Romeo continued to further his acting career by appearing in a dance film called Honey next to Jessica Alba.
Who remember Honey? I watch Honey. I watched that movie. That movie is very good, very valid.
Voicing himself in an episode of Static Shock called Romeo in the Mix, and scoring his own Nickelodeon show called Romeo. The show ran for 3 years and was a huge success. The whole plot of the show was that Romeo was in a band called Pieces of the Puzzle along with 3 of his siblings.
And that show never aired for some reason. It show never aired again, bro. It's not even on no network, bro.
Also played basketball, while his father, who was played by none other than Master P himself, provided guidance for him.
Like I said, that show never aired again, bro.
Along with Romeo's stepmother and nanny. In other words, he was simply living his life. Unfortunately, while Romeo was achieving mainstream success, his uncle C. Murder was fighting for his life behind bars. To nobody's surprise, this was devastating for Romeo, but he couldn't do anything to help his case, and the only way to move forward was to work even harder and keep his faith. With the show hitting it big and reaching top of Nickelodeon charts, Lil Romeo decided to release his third album and possibly capitalize even more from the situation. On September 21st, 2004, Lil Romeo released an album called Romeo Land. The album featured once again his father, Lil D, and also Nick Cannon, who came to Romeo's house and recorded his verse there. It spawned singles like My Cinderella,
So the girls out there, I'm looking for a Cinderella.
and My Girlfriend.
I wanna make you my girlfriend. You could be my boyfriend.
but unfortunately only peaked at number 70 on the US Billboard 200 and was his worst album sales-wise to date. The album was also released on the new No Limit after No Limit signed a deal for $10 million with Universal and had to change their name. A year later, in 2005, Romeo with his father opened up a new record label called Gutter Music Entertainment, and Romeo, along with his brother Valentino Miller and 3 of their cousins, C-Loss, Lil D, and Willie J, formed a group called Bridge Boys. The group released their debut album, titled Young Ballers, The Hood Been Good to Us, on November 22nd, 2005, but unfortunately, due to lack of success, the group later disbanded. Throughout the year, he continued to act by appearing on multiple Nickelodeon shows, including his own, and even won Kids' Choice Award for Favorite Television Actor. Not only that, but he didn't forget his passion for basketball. During the 2005-2006 high school season, Romeo managed to average 13.9 points and 5.6 assists per game. Considering the fact that Romeo was just a child and had a work ethic like that, is truly something remarkable. While he could have been the spoiled kid who just completely relied on his father's money, Romeo was working day and night during his childhood, in his own words, being inspired by his father and the sacrifices he made throughout his life for the better future. With what seemed like a success train that was never going to stop, soon enough, it started to become more prominent. 2006 is the year when Romeo's career was starting to go downwards pretty rapidly, despite his huge efforts. In 2006, Romeo released 2 albums, Lottery and God's Gift. Despite God's Gift being later used as a soundtrack for the film of the same name, both of the albums received little to no success. He decided to change his name to simply Romeo, feeling like it was time for a change and that he wasn't
He wanna drop the little part, just Romeo.
so little anymore. Around the same time, people started to hear about a beef brewing between Romeo and another child star, Bow Wow. At the time, it was rumored that Bow Wow had subliminally dissed Master P and Romeo on his song called Fresh As I'm Is.
18, making more than your dad, see?
He basically saying he was 18. He's 18, making more money than Master P. That's what he's saying.
Well, it was only a subliminal diss, and nobody knew who it was actually aimed at. Romeo responded to Bow Wow on their song called You Can Shine Like Me.
It's only 16 and I don't live home with mother, kids popping in grills and they think they're getting tougher.
Years later, during one of the interviews, Bow Wow confessed that
And that song, Ride Like Me, was dirt. I'm not gonna lie. I ain't gonna lie. That song was dirt. That's a trash diss track.
this was indeed targeted towards Master P and Romeo, but it wasn't due to bad blood. It was orchestrated by the label to keep both of them relevant. With his music career declining and the Nickelodeon show getting cancelled, the only bright side was that the same year, he was invited to the Reebok-sponsored ABCD basketball camp, which included some of the most legendary basketball players, including Kobe Bryant, Tracy McGrady, LeBron James, and Carmelo Anthony. But unfortunately, it once again didn't last long. Although he was surrounded by future NBA players like OJ Mayo, Derrick Rose, and Kevin Love, Romeo really struggled throughout the camp and only averaged less than 2 points per game. The longtime director of ABCD camp later explained that he invited Romeo primarily as a favor to Percy Miller, Master P, whom he knew from the club basketball circuit. In his words, if you're looking for the profile of an athlete who plays basketball at USC, he's not it. Despite the harsh words, on April 15, 2007, he verbally committed to the University of Southern California and signed a letter of intent on November 19, 2007. He began playing for Trojans at USC in the 2008-2009 season using his first name, Percy. Throughout the 2 seasons, he played a total of 19 minutes in 9 games, scoring 5 points and recording 3 rebounds and 1 assist, which ultimately led to him getting released not long after that. The same year when he joined USC, he once again formed a new record label with his father called Take a Stand Records and released their debut album called Hip Hop History completely independently with Take a Stand Records, Urban Digital, and Go Digital Music Group. Unfortunately, just like his basketball career, the album was a major flop and failed to gain success. With his Nickelodeon show cancelled, music career going downhill, and dreams of becoming a professional basketball player left in the past, life only got rougher for Romeo. His uncle's trial finally came to a conclusion, and C. Murder was sentenced to life in jail on August 14, 2009. Throughout the next couple of years, Romeo continued to drop mixtapes and EPs, but unfortunately, none of them could even replicate a fraction of success he reached in his childhood, and despite the huge efforts, his time as a rapper had already passed. Regardless, he didn't stop and continued to branch out and do all kinds of business endeavors throughout the years, which also included starting his own clothing line, which was endorsed by stars like Jaden Smith, Justin Bieber, and Big Time Rush, becoming a model, and continuing to appear on multiple TV shows like Dancing with the Stars and growing up hip-hop. While his career reached a high point in his childhood, Romeo never failed to acknowledge his father's impact on his career, and while they had their ups and downs throughout the years, Romeo is a true example of a man who was almost born into a rich family, but never took anything for granted, and still worked hard to achieve everything in his life. Master P did a phenomenal job of raising Romeo, showing everyone what a real father figure can do to a young kid. While he never fails to give flowers to his father, Romeo's work ethic and their father and son relationship are truly something remarkable that should serve as an example for generations to come.
Okay, that's the video. So yeah, bro, like Romeo, like his music career never like went anywhere. You feel me? it seemed like Romeo's music was geared towards girls, bro. Just like Bow Wow music, it was geared towards females. You feel me? But Romeo just never like, you feel me? Like he like, you know, like, y'all get what I'm saying? But he just never like process in his music career. You feel me? But yeah, bro, if you're a fan of Lil Romeo, let me know, bro. What is your favorite like Lil Romeo fan? What is your favorite Lil Romeo song, though? So yeah, make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe. Y'all know the vibes. So just checking out you are.